My alarm awakens me, and I go through the routine of getting ready for the day. Nikki's already downstairs, and after a quick breakfast, and apparently no conversation, we both head to school. My class today is a little different from usual. I started reading at the beginning again. Students sit scattered around the room, but as I walk past them to find a seat, I overhear snippets of conversations in different languages. Like me, they're all foreign to Japan. Oh. Gosh dang it. I settle into a seat at the back of the class, far from the entrance, and gaze out the window while I wait for the professor to enter. Suddenly, the room quiets down. I glance at the door, expecting to see the professor, but a girl with bright blue eyes and blonde hair is there instead. Hey, female. Although she has her hips cocked to the side, she still carries a commanding presence. All eyes are focused on her, but she doesn't even blink at the attention. Who are you looking at? Oh, I guess the classroom could be angled down. I'm like, you're looking down. How do you see me? I'm not upskirting you or anything like that. She scans the room. When her gaze settles on me, she flashes me an excited grin. I overhear the two guys next to me commenting about her.
Who is that girl?
I don't know.
She must be new. I would have remembered a hottie like her.
My high school experience was very different. Wait, they're in college. My college experience was also very different. A lot less sexual harassment, I feel. I can feel the heat of everyone's glares as she steadily makes her way towards me.
Hey, she's coming our way.
Could it be? Is she coming to us?
No. Whispers float behind her, but she ignores them and sits in the empty desk beside me. Hi.
Hey, how's it going?
It's alright. I wait for the other guys to answer, but they whisper to each other instead.
Who's that guy? Does she know him?
I don't know.
She must. Why else would she search him out?
Well, I am hot and cute.
You're right. She's way out of his league.
They apparently don't think so. She continues to stare at me, waiting expectantly, not at all put off by my lingering silence. She must be talking to me. I'm such a cheek magnet. I don't know her, she can't be talking to me. Okay, well here's the thing though. There are only two other people behind me. They clearly don't think that she's talking to them. She's looking what appears to be right at me, and she sat down on the empty desk right next to me, so she must be talking to me. That's my reasoning. I just don't want to come across as, like, cocky. Good. And you?
Better, now that I've found you.
Do I know you? You were looking for me? She merely smirks. She must have maybe she saw the rankings and I did like super well, and she's one of those like pompous, powerful people, and so she searched me out purely because of my talent. Do we know each other?
No, but I saw you at the qualifiers.
So more or less what I said, yeah. You did?
Yeah, I watched you take out those two AIs by yourself.
I did that, that's true. Oh, right. She leans in closer to me, and her voice takes on a breathy tinge. I thought I was already pretty breathy.
You were really impressive. I've never seen anybody's core do that before.
Oh, my core can do pretty amazing things. Like crunches! Why is the U capitalized? I can do a lot more with my core. He took my joke! In-game me took my joke! Thank you. Thanks.
How did you do it?
I genuinely don't know. Well, actually, Before I can answer, the professor walks in. I feel like she's a bad guy, like an antagonist. The girl gives me a lingering smile before shifting back into her seat.
Good morning, class. Welcome to the Foreign Exchange International Bridging. This class is for those who are new to Japan or would like a stronger understanding of Japanese culture and the history of the Izukaze.
Okay.
That means most of your assignments will require you to leave campus and explore the city.
Oh, man, I hate going outside. This class should be interesting. It'll be nice to get off campus every once in a while.
Now, let's begin.
Okay. Good class. I enjoyed
You'll find
that.
your first class assignment online. Let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, have a great rest of your day.
You know what? You too, Professor. Goodbye. The cute girl turns back to me and hands me a torn sheet of paper.
Don't lose this, okay?
I'll try not to. She winks. What is it?
It's my number.
But we only just met. We're so in sync. I don't even know you. But we only... Isn't it a little too soon to be giving me this?
You think so? I just thought it'd be nice to have a friend.
In class. Oh, actually, yeah, that would be nice. I write down my number and pass it to her. She smiles her thanks.
Call me sometime, okay?
Alright, sometime. She grabs her bag and starts to leave. Wait! She flips her hair and lets her gaze fall back on me. Did I ever get her name? Is that what I'm asking? Yeah, what's your name?
Valerie.
I'm Riz.
I know.
You... She winks at me again and turns away. I watch Valerie's hips sway mesmerizingly as she exits the room, picturing her naked, and I'm left wondering what exactly just happened. I've never met a girl as bold as her before. And how did she know my name? From the qualifiers? I shake the questions out of my head and collect my things.
Did you see that? He didn't even ask for it, but she just gave that guy her number.
No way!
The two of them crowd me as I pack up.
Dude, that was amazing.
Thank you. What was?
That chick was all over you. What's your secret?
You know, I have this interesting cologne. Huh?
I mean, how did you get a girl like that to just give you her number?
It's really just she was impressed with my core.
Usually we have to ask for it, and that hardly ever works.
I shrug and shoulder my bag. You have to be Riz. No idea. Who knows?
That's it right there.
So you have to be aloof, and the girls will flock to you.
Yeah. Sure. A few students hover in the doorway, unsure if they should enter the classroom or not. Look, I've gotta go. Other people need to use this room.
One day, we'll learn your true secret.
Alright. My protege. I leave before they can say anything else. Now the class is over, I've got some free time. What do I feel like doing? Why did you have to phrase it like that before just giving me a list of girls? I guess I feel like doing Kody. My stomach complains loudly for food. Hopefully nobody else heard that. At least I have plenty of time to grab lunch before my next class. There's a cafeteria on campus which I've eaten at a couple times. The food is cheap and surprisingly good. Way better than the cafeteria food at CINY. But the options are limited. I've heard the Pilot's Lounge has some decent options, and their daily specials incorporate cuisine from other cultures. It might be worth a look. I navigate to the lounge. Luckily, there isn't a line. I hope that's because I beat the lunch rush and not because the food is bad. Pushing those thoughts aside, I walk up to the bar.
Hello, what do you have?
I study the limited menu on the wall. Behind the bartender is a chalkboard with a daily special written down. Cheeseburger with fries. Never had that before. Something healthy would be good. Heck yeah, burger and fries! Yes, it must be my lucky day. I've been craving a good burger ever since I landed in Japan. I'll have the burger with fries.
How special. Burger and fries coming up.
Thank you.
That'll be 873 credits.
I assume I have that. Yup. After paying, I move over to the side and wait for my lunch. Within a few minutes, he slides over a tray with a juicy burger and a mound of fries. Oh, I'm hungry now. It's actually dinner time as I'm recording this, so... Yup. I can't wait to start eating this beast of a burger. Picking up my tray, I scan the Pilot's Lounge for an empty table. Weird how sometimes the game capitalizes Pilot's Lounge, and sometimes it doesn't. Most are occupied by single students focused on their own food or studies. As I'm debating whether or not to join a random student, I spot a girl with reddish-orange hair sitting alone. It's Kody! I breathe out a sigh of relief and make my way over to her. You know, something else that's interesting about this was, it's like, what do I want to do now during my free time? And it gives you the options. There's Kody, Mayu, and Valerie. But selecting those didn't actually have Riz go like, I know, I'll go seek out this person. Instead, he just went to eat, and it happened to bring up her. So that was like the most meta decision, I think, or one of the most meta decisions so far in this game, at least aside from the beginning where you choose like whether you're an intellectual or things like that. So, interesting. But yes, I breathe out a sigh of relief and make my way over to her. Hey! She looks up at me.
Oh, hi.
Mind if I sit here? She shakes her head. Good, that's a good sign. Thanks. I place my tray next to her bento and sit down. Kody refocuses on her meal and eats in silence. This is pretty awkward. Speak up. So, how are things?
Good.
She doesn't even bother looking at me. And what do you think about the weather today? I'm so smooth! Ah, I am like the epitome of a baby's butt. This is seriously like pulling teeth. I shouldn't be surprised though. It's Kody after all. Capitalization after a comma. Small talk is not her forte. I pick up a ketchup packet and squeeze the contents over my fries. Please don't accidentally get her.
You're really eating that?
Okay, good. Huh? Kody has finally looked up from her food and examines my meal.
Burgers are very unhealthy. They are full of fat and very high in calories.
I know, I just don't care.
The fries are even worse. Those are just empty carbs. And the average meal holds the amount of sodium an average person needs in a day.
Twice the amount, thank you. It tastes delicious. That's what makes it taste so good. Kody leans back in disappointment and shrugs.
Whatever. It's your choice.
Dang right it's my choice. I glance at her bento. It has an assortment of simple maki rolls. I don't know if I'm saying either of those right, but I think I am. I'm just glad I'm eating this instead of that. Well, sometimes it's nice to eat something tasty for a change. Look, that's me. I like that picture of her. It's it's cute. I feel like I look a little awkward there, but hey, you know. She frowns in irritation.
What makes you think my bento isn't tasty?
Have you tried it? I actually have no idea what that is. I take another look at it, then smirk. You don't need to get so defensive. I'm sure it's healthy, but that thing barely looks seasoned. Mm. It is in my mouth now. Also cute. Kody shoves a maki roll into my mouth while I'm mid-sentence.
Don't judge it until you've tried it.
Wow, this is surprisingly delicious. It's light with simple ingredients, but each bite is still packed with flavor. Kody quickly retracts her chopsticks. Once she realizes what she's done, her cheeks flush. That actually was pretty good. You win this time. Huh, guess I was wrong. Give me another piece. Guess I was wrong. I take it back. That was pretty tasty. Kody nods, satisfied.
Maybe next time, you won't be so dismissive of my advice.
Fair enough. I figured Kody liked to eat healthy, but I hadn't realized she cared about taste as well as nutrition. We end up finishing our meals in silence, but I'm glad I was able to learn a little bit more about Kody. Yeah, I mean, that was short, but it was nice. Remembering that the team rankings were supposed to be posted this morning, I take out my phone and notice an unread email from the school. The rankings are posted online and can be accessed through the web link. I tap on the link embedded in the email and wait. But I want to know, like, were these posted before the foreign integration class or not? Like, whatever that was called, the bridging class, you know. The page doesn't load. Dang thing still isn't working for me. There's a note at the bottom of the email saying a physical copy of the ranking is posted in the pilot's lounge, so I head back there. I guess. If only I'd noticed that before. Or if only Kody had said something, you'd think she would have said something. You'd think she would, like, even if she hadn't seen the rankings, you'd think she would have said something or fidgeted uncomfortably, like being anxious or whatever. But anyway, upon entering, I noticed a crowd of pilots on the opposite wall in front of the posted ranks. Unless it was just barely posted. And, like, we just received the email, but it didn't give us a time frame, so I had to guess. They're surrounding a smiling guy with white hair and showering him with praise. I have a brief feeling of deja vu. I forget his name, but I do recall who they're referring to. Pushing past the crowd, I eagerly check the board and search for my team. My stomach twists into knots. I really don't know what to expect. Once I find our team, I breathe a sigh of relief. Rank 21! That's not bad at all. I don't know. Okay. The pilots beside me are still talking, and I tune into their conversation.
Congratulations on being ranked #1 again this year, Akira.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Man, 21, that doesn't seem good.
Thanks, guys. But it's actually my team who deserves the congratulations. They all fought really well.
Are you like Australian or something?
Still, you were a big reason why your team got first rank. I watched the match, and you were amazing out there.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
Don't you already have a sponsor too?
Yeah,
Who is it?
it's Eludian Enterprises.
Oh, just eluding enterprises.
I've heard their weapons are pretty cutting edge.
Wow, you're so lucky. You basically had a sponsor waiting for you.
I mean, he probably did. Before anyone else can reply, a group of girls cut through the crowd. A group cuts, through the crowd to read the rankings. A tall girl with long dark hair steps forward and squints at the board, then she cheers excitedly.
Hey, we made it to the top 10!
Good job, Mei Satomi. As she jumps up in excitement, my eyes are drawn to her chest because I'm a pervert. But I look away before I catch myself staring. Glancing around me, it seems like I wasn't the only guy she distracted.
Are you serious, May?
One of her teammates pushes past to double check the post.
Of course I'm serious.
We're in ninth place. That's not bad at all.
Weird way of saying that, but yeah.
Especially considering how long we've actually practiced together.
How long?
That's true.
Maybe we'll never know. Akira joins Mei.
Congratulations on your rank, May.
Thank you, but I'm sure it means nothing compared to being number 1.
She flashes him a warm smile and rubs her arm, squeezing her chest together in the process. Akira falters for a second, then shakes his head and speaks earnestly.
No, you girls are pretty impressive. You're a new team, right? Formed over the summer?
Mei nods.
It's not often that a team who hasn't had much chance to practice and learn from each other is able to make top rank. You have every right to be proud.
Thanks. That means a lot.
Blushy face.
I can't believe Akira just said we impressed him. I know.
Do you already have sponsors too?
I'm gonna try to start saying Akira, I guess, because I think I was saying Akira.
Not yet, but we aren't worried. We've had a few companies reach out to us today.
Oh, cool, good job.
It
Go
must
you.
be nice not to worry about sponsorship. I think my team and I will go through the SBA to get a sponsor.
Yes, the SBA, come on. SBA, what's that? I do a quick search on my phone. A website for a student-run association pops up on the school network. Ah, it's a sponsorship bridging association, a student association that pairs sponsorship opportunities with different teams. Sounds simple enough. I click on the More Information tab. Why should your team get a sponsor? The SBA prides itself on pairing appropriate sponsors with Ace Academy teams who have proven their ability in battle. These sponsors fund teams for their repair costs as well as provide them with equipment improvements. This is a mutual relationship that benefits both the team, through equipment costs and repairs, and the sponsor by giving them greater exposure and an opportunity to advertise through their teams. I scan through the rest of their website, looking for the on-campus location. I should stop by and see if they can help us with a sponsor. Instead of the location, I find the student volunteer list and a name pops out at me. Just pops out. It's so weird. Hyuna Misaki! Oh, yeah. I didn't know she was part of the SBA. Maybe she'll be willing to help us out. It's a bit loud since those groups of pilots are still talking, so I move to a quiet corner and dial Yuna's number. I think I'm reaching that point already where reading is becoming more difficult, like I'm just rushing along a little bit more. Not on purpose. Just
Hello?
happens. Hi Yuna, it's Riz.
Oh, hi. How are you?
I'm fine, how are you? My day is about to get a lot better, explain the situation. Fine, how are you? Good, how are you doing?
Quite well.
Great!
Do you need something?
Oh, yes, I did. I came across the SBA website today and noticed your name on the volunteer list. Are you still a part of that association?
I am.
I was looking to get our team a sponsor, but wasn't sure how, and I didn't think to actually ask my team beforehand if we had any other means of doing that, if we already had a sponsor or anything like that. I just figured I am the team leader, self-appointed, so I might as well take matters into my own hands.
Oh.
Then I heard a few students talking about the SBA today and figured I'd check it out. When I saw your name, I just had to ask.
I'd be happy to help you find a sponsor.
Thanks. Really? You don't mind?
It's no trouble at all. I'll check in with the association in the morning, and I'll be sure to keep you in the loop.
Unlike my team. Thanks, I appreciate it.
Did you need anything else? I don't mean to rush you, but I've got to head out.
Oh, no, I'm good. No, that's all.
Okay, then I'll talk to you when I have something.
Great. Thanks again for your help.
Anytime. See you around.
Yeah, see you. The phone clicks as she hangs up. At least we're one step closer to getting a sponsor. Like, do phones really click anymore? Now that everything is like mobile? I hope. Now where are we going? I glance at the time. It's still early in the evening. What should I do? I mean, if these are like, I'd want to talk to Sho. I'd want to see Sho about the team. But it seems weird to me to see if Nikki needs a ride home. Like, to have that as an option, unless she might actually need a ride home. Again, I'm gonna be... I have no reason in-game to think that Nikki should need a ride home. I have no reason to suspect that her ride was, like, canceled or anything. So I'm gonna be a responsible teammate and go see Sho. Let's see if Sho wants to hang out at the arcade or something. Oh, I guess that works too. I call and he picks up after a few rings.
What's up?
Let us partake in the merriment of cyber skirmishing. Ask Sho out on a date. Let's go to the arcade. That one. It's time.
Time?
To go to war. I cannot do it alone. Will you follow me into the gates of purgatory?
That's a hefty request, my good sir.
It involves free snacks at the arcade.
That's simply an offer I can't refuse.
I figured as much.
I'll meet you there.
After hanging up, I head out to the arcade. Cool, I'm glad that went well. Because it was a risk. It was a gamble! As I enter the building, I spot Sho waving at me. Oh, DDR, dang. Except that's just DANC. Alright. As soon as I join him, he leads me deeper into the arcade. Where are we going?
To a game which will showcase our skills.
Oh. But the gear simulators are the other way.
Not those skills.
Sho stops in front of a shooting game and pulls a gun out of the holster.
Shall we see who the better marksman is?
Oh, it's on! The game has inbuilt sensors so we can duck to the side to take cover or peek out and the game will read that movement. It's a team-based game, but it sounds like Sho wants to turn it into a competition. You're on. How about we raise the stakes?
I like the sound of that. What were you thinking?
Loser buys the winner lunch for a whole week.
I never took you for a gambling man.
It's not gambling when the results are already known. Speak up. It isn't gambling if I know I'm going to win.
Oh, well, let's see how confident you are after this.
Bring it on, Sho Shinjiro! Alright, we throw a couple of tokens into the machine. Once the game loads, we jump straight into the action. Sho takes the lead. I'm probably gonna lose. And leads us straight into an enemy encampment.
You're falling behind, brosip. Ah!
Haha! A large wave of enemies spawn on Sho's side.
Ah, crap, I'm pinned. Give me some cover.
Help Sho. I'm nice. It's still a team game. Alright, I'm going in! I take out the shooters, pinning him down.
I knew you'd pull through. Time to finish off this wave.
Yep. We cleared the game, however, we weren't fast enough to make the leaderboard. Maybe if we hadn't spent the beginning competing, it might have been different.
Not bad.
Yeah. Leaderboard doesn't matter, it's just about having fun. After our shooting match, we head for the gear simulators.
Aw, no way!
There's a long line which snakes around some of the other gaming stations.
Well, I guess I should have expected this.
Why are there so many people? Also, who won the match? Who won the bet? There's a lunch for a week, like that's writing on that.
It's because of the new update to the simulators.
Update?
The arcade has new prototype weapons by Eludian Enterprises installed into the sim.
Oh. Huh, I wonder what kind of weapons.
Not sure, but I can't wait to find out.
Right? You're pretty excited about this. He scratches his head and wears a sheepish grin.
Yeah, it's because I really do like gears.
Fair. What got you into them in the first place? Sho looks like he's struggling to find the words and the music's fading away. I want to see if it's just because it's looping or if it's because it's fading for the moment. You can really hear the arcade now, though. I think it's moment.
Nah, it's stupid.
I'm sure it's not. You could tell me. It's strange to see him look so nervous. Or serious. After a few more seconds of hesitation, Sho finally speaks.
I got beat up a lot as a kid.
I can see that. Now I feel like a jerk. I didn't know. He takes a deep breath.
I was always the one being picked on in class or after school. That's why I hung out alone a lot. Then one year, my mom bought me this sweet gear action figure for my birthday. Man, I loved that thing. It was so awesome. But the kids from my class, they pulled it from my hands and laughed as the leader smashed it against the concrete.
I was afraid it was gonna be something like that as soon as he mentioned the toy. Oh man.
I sat there, my eyes red from crying, and I thought, if only I had a real gear.
Sho, I'm sorry. He doesn't face me. If I had known this was such a sensitive topic, I wouldn't have brought it up.
No, it's good to finally talk about it, you know?
Suddenly, his body starts shaking. Are you alright? Look, I didn't mean to bring up... Wait. Don't tell me.
I can't believe you actually fell for it!
I was feeling bad for you, man! I was feeling bad! Give me back my sympathies. I take back every nice thing I just said.
I'm sorry. It was just too good to resist. Maybe I should give up my piloting career to become an actor.
Yeah, that's fair. Don't push it. So, what's the real story? Sho shrugs.
There isn't one. There's just a feeling, you know? Being inside the cockpit, your hands on the control panels, and the only thing you see out of your visuals is down the barrel of your opponent's rifle.
You mean you like the thrill? Didn't take you for an adrenaline junkie.
That's not exactly it. In a match, everyone is an equal. You could be the son of the president or missing a leg or whatever, and none of that matters. All that matters is if you have what it takes to win.
Fair enough, fair enough. Well, matches aren't really equal. If you're the son of the president, you could have the best equipped gear in the nation, which will obviously give you the advantage over the gear with average equipment.
True, which is why matches held between standard gears are my favorite. Then it really is based on skill alone.
Also fair, yeah. Shows unusually serious and speaks in earnest. Although he's still smiling, it's not his usual goofy grin. He might have come off as someone who doesn't take anything seriously, but after what he just shared, I get the feeling this facade hides a mind that is observant and alert. Interesting.
I don't share that with a lot of people. I don't think they'd understand.
I don't really know what to say. Luckily, Sho's signature grin returns.
Anyway, good talk.
Good talk, yeah. You can talk to me anytime. See you next session. Yup, no need to repeat. Yeah, I'm open to that, yeah. I got your back, bro.
That's great, because there was something else on my mind.
Oh? Wow, so soon? Sho just laughs. The line dwindles as we've been talking, and before we know it, it's our turn.
Looks like we're next.
Was that what he wanted to talk about? Sho and I take our places inside the simulation pods, and we continue to battle each other until Sho has to leave. Hopefully Nikki didn't need a ride. Hopefully not. Again, there was no reason in-game why I should have suspected it. The only reason was the meta reason that it was there to begin with as an option. When I get home, Uncle Kaito is lounging on the couch with his feet up on the coffee table and staring intently at his laptop. Mountains of papers and folders surround him, with a few loose pieces strewn across the floor. Hey, Uncle, is Nikki home? Uh-oh. Clearly startled, Kaito spins to face me and loses the rest of his papers in a scattered mess. He rubs at his eyes before letting out a resigned sigh and kneels to pick them up. I bend down to help. Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you.
It's not your fault. Sometimes this house can be too quiet.
Quiet? I guess that means Nikki isn't home. He gives me a weak smile. I can tell he's tired. Kaito's been working late almost every night since Nikki and I arrived. I hope he's not overworking himself. I hand back all the papers I collected, and he begins sorting them into folders again. Can I help? He hesitates, then shakes his head.
Thanks, bud, but I've got it.
Okay, wait, so if Nikki's not home... you still haven't answered my question, man. If she's not home, maybe we should, go get her? Or contact her in some way? I sit beside him anyway. What are you working on?
Just some work stuff.
I mean, it's not like I don't care about Kaito's, well-being or anything, but I feel like if it's this late, and my little sister's not home yet, we should probably both be caring a little more than we currently seem to be. Right. Actually, now that I think about it, I don't really know what Uncle Kaito does for a living. What kind of work stuff?
A lot of things.
He's being awfully evasive with his answers. I knew it, he's a secret agent! Okay, I can take a hint. I fall silent, not wanting to disturb him any further. After a few seconds, Kaito glances at me.
You okay?
Yeah, I just didn't want to bother you. I can tell you're busy.
Oh, no, you're not bothering me. I'm just a little distracted since I'm doing a final look at our contracts for the restaurant.
Restaurant! Although that being said, contracts? Don't you have a department that handles those?
Yeah, we do, but as regional manager, I have to look at them first to make sure they include everything we discussed. Then I send it to the deal desk to make sure all the legalese is correct and that there are no hidden clauses.
So he's the regional manager for a restaurant. I guess. He pats the pile of papers closest to it.
We're opening up a new cafe in the next month, hence all the new contracts.
Ah. Oh, really?
Yeah. Actually, it won't be too far away. You know that empty lot in the strip mall?
The one that's been under construction?
Yep, that's where it'll be.
Perfect. That's pretty close. I'll have to stop by after it opens and check it out.
Have you been to any of our other restaurants yet?
You forgot Sure, man. Please do not be disappointed. Time to wing it. I didn't even know you managed restaurants. I didn't even know you had restaurants.
Really? When you were little, I used to take you there when you visited. Don't you remember?
Kind of. But I didn't know those were your restaurants.
I used to bring you food straight from the kitchen.
I was 5. I thought everyone did that. He laughs.
Fair point. Well, if you get the chance, you should try the place near the park. It serves Western-style cuisine and is very popular in Isukaze. I know it won't be exactly like the food you had back in the States, but I'd be curious to see how you like it.
Fair enough. Also, the chance, not a chance. And I am being nitpicky. I mean, like, it's not a huge deal, but I'm pointing it out. And not necessarily pointing out all my own mistakes when reading or even correcting all of them, because those are voice actors. You can retake lines, or if, you know, they like a line that was different from the text that's actually in the dialogue, you know, the scripts and everything, you could just change the script before you release the game. So it seems weird to me that they left so many of those unchecked. Sure, that sounds great. He grins at me before turning back to his stack. I should probably let him work. I'm going to go upstairs. Good luck with all of this.
Thanks.
By the way, what about my little sister? I head to my room and do another quick search on the SBA. Then decide to check out what other clubs are at Ace. I can't believe I'm not looking into Nikki at all. It looks like there's a club for everything. Tennis, cooking, business, culture, etc. At some point, I vaguely hear voices downstairs. Nikki must be home. After a quick convo, she comes upstairs and I hear her shut the door to her room. I continue surfing the net, but after a while, my eyelids start to droop, and I crawl into bed before drifting to sleep. Man, if she gets upset with me for not picking her up, and she didn't, text me or anything,